All right, what it do, family? It's your favorite host, Mike on the mic, joined by
your favorite girl, Sacoya.
And that guy, Monte.
And this is the Vibe Perspective Podcast, episode 12.
Yeah.
Season 2, man. We here. We back again.
We are.
You know what I mean? How y'all feeling? How's the week been treating y'all?
You know, we back for another season and whatever, but I'm still tired. Like, what is happening? Like, what's up for
it's
real?
Cold. That's why you get
It's
tired
definitely
when
cold.
It's cold.
No,
It's
for
definitely
real.
cold.
I'm very
It's
tired.
super cold.
Help.
For sure. No.
That's how my week has been. Fucking cold.
It's cold. That's all it is.
Yeah,
It been like 20 degrees, like in real life. Like we on the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? Like it gets pretty cold, but like it feels like it's been colder than ever. Like it feels like we really hitting that like global warming, like that peak. Because when we was in the summertime, we got like 100 plus, and I was like, yo, it's gonna swing back. I'm telling you, it's like a pendulum. Like weather's like a pendulum. It's gonna hit you hard in the wintertime, and it did. And I'm like, I'm surprised we ain't got more snow, honestly. Like, they already salting the roads. Yeah. Like,
it was supposed to snow like last week or something. It didn't even snow.
Man, I'm
when
not.
They did say it was
ready.
snow, and it did, and it wasn't even nothing. People was complaining, it rained, it washed it all away. I ain't had no excuse not to go to work.
Man.
I ain't like that. Like, for
You
real,
definitely need that one excuse.
I need that excuse all the time.
Snow
Like,
days.
they ain't do the driveway. I can't make it out.
Right. Ooh,
Sorry.
money. Got driveways.
Right. Buddy.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying? We blessed this COVID season. You know what I'm saying? We you know, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, concerning last week's episode, because everybody hit me up. I'm sorry personally for DeMonta not using his mic properly.
I'm sorry, what was that? Hello, my name is Elena Kurama. I was born with gills like a fish.
Properly. And I'm going to apologize on behalf of DeMonta for his lack of usage of said mic per previous episode. So, don't worry about the audio.
I feel like
You know what I'm
I get
saying?
called out a lot in this podcast.
You know what I mean? All you got to do is crank the volume up. Crank it
I
up.
ain't said a word.
Crank the volume up. You can hear him.
Said a peep.
You can hear him.
The punching
You can hear him.
bag of the podcast.
Listen, I'm just saying. How do you not like the first 8 songs of Guns? I never mind. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone.
It was very easy, actually.
All right. All right.
I cannot.
See, we ain't gonna get no sponsorships fucking with you. I'm telling you.
Hey, man,
Tell me.
you gotta give the
No,
people
no,
some
no.
differentiation, man. Y'all
Differentiate. Spell differentiation.
I gave an honest feedback. You know, I ain't say I was gung ho for it, but
No, I
gave
can.
My little, you know what I'm saying? My little 7.
Man,
Because we had to do numbers.
we ain't about to get another Bushido again. Like that ain't about to happen
Hopefully
again.
not, because no one needs to make another one.
Man, all right.
Oh,
See,
my good.
wow. Oh, wow.
Moving along.
Wow. Mellow Music Group, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I didn't say they were bad.
I'm
people,
so
but-
sorry. So sorry. All right, man. All right, we got to get into this week. It's been a lot of stuff that happened this week. So these topics, you know what I'm saying, will range widely, I think. It's going to be a few things we're going to touch on. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, we got to get this out of the way. Like, yo, condolences to Regina King. Like, you know, she lost her son to suicide.
Man.
It's like he's 26, young guy, you know, incredible future ahead of him. And I think, you know, it's probably one of the toughest things to lose a child, you know, like she always spoke about him, like you always seen them together. Like it's a super sad scene, and you know, my heart goes out to the family. You know, only condolences, only, you know, healing energy, only positive energy their way. You know,
man. And look out for your peoples, man. Look
Right.
out for all your people.
Facts.
If you see any signs,
Mega facts.
Facts.
Super depression, any signs of changed behavior, isolationism, you know, just contact your people. Tell them you love them. Ask about their day. Ask about how things are going, because you never know, you know, what one little question can do for a person. So.
Right.
yeah,
Honestly.
yeah,
But it's like, you know,
it's tough.
I kind of want to say, she's done a lot for, you know, us as like a community as far as entertainment
Yeah.
and things like that.
Boondocks,
You know,
all the way back, you know.
and I feel like
Yeah.
it's important to say at this time to also be mindful of, like, you know, her and what she is going through. Because I know I hear a lot when celebrities pass and stuff. A lot of people they'll tweet and like, oh, I remember when this happened, and then they tweet pictures and they just, constantly remind you. Although it comes from a good place, it's still like you also have to,
Be mindful.
Respect their privacy and
For
let
sure.
them mourn how they choose.
Yeah, definitely. Condolences to the family, and man, like, I wish it was something we could do. Like we could watch our movies or something to help the family out. Anything we can do, But prayers up for sure, because it's always tough, Yeah, on a lighter note, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know already what we're going to be reviewing this episode, like the album in terms of that. It's going to be Sick by Earl Sweatshirt. We're going to get to that towards the end of the episode, like you've seen in the first episode. And we'll probably give you in the future, I'll, drop this little gem. We'll probably start doing, smaller, more focused sort of reviews. We'll probably be doing EPs and like devoting actual video content to the album itself. And, we'll figure some format out and, get the response from you guys and then,
up a little bit.
see what we like. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put our ear to the streets and figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? So
make sure you hit them comments. Tell us what you want to see.
you gotta hit the comments. No, for sure. Because we're gonna start doing some giveaways. We're gonna start doing some challenges and stuff. We're gonna need those comments so we can pick the best people to be involved. So make sure you get involved. Link with us on Instagram and Twitter too. So you know what I mean? That's gonna be like a whole thing. So we gonna be there, open to all of your comments, all your suggestions, everything. So we're gonna be down. All right. So what y'all seeing this week? What y'all on this week?
What everybody has been seeing, this damn money challenge.
Oh my God.
Everywhere.
Oh my God.
Everywhere.
Did Kodak really start it with the arm spread?
Bro.
Soulja Boy said he
Draco
started it. Thanks.
What didn't he start? Big Draco.
And he always got the receipts in the face. Like, let's
Draco.
go. Like, I started that.
And then LL Cool J old ass gonna try to hop in and talk about he been doing this, but he spelled his name with ice. Like, bro, that's not money. Like, what? That's not the same thing. Like, you tried it. That was rich. But yeah, man, this money challenge is getting crazy. So
It
not
really
only
is.
not only rappers doing it now, now regular people is doing
Oh
it.
yeah, everybody's doing it.
Like, why?
Everybody's doing it.
You should not have your trap money on the floor and taking a picture of it so the IRS can see. That's like,
No,
that's
for
like
sure. Let's call them the feds.
Going to rob a liquor store and then taking a picture with a gun. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's
Like,
stupid.
what are you
And
doing?
now they tracing serial numbers, like they looking at the joints, like yeah, like they know. They hip. It's crazy to see everything else other than money that's come out through the challenge, like babies' diapers. Like all of the shenanigans have come out through this money challenge. Like, what do y'all make of that? Like, just why is it like taking over so crazy? Like, why is it so interesting
People
to do?
just always take stuff and run with it. Like, I don't know.
It's a
always,
flex.
yeah, it's a huge flex, but also it's comedy. Like, who can do the funniest shit? Like,
Yeah.
And some of these things have like taken on like entire lives of their own and like whole like
no, for real.
different scenarios. Like there's a rap beef going on. That's because of one
Yeah.
of them. Like, you feel me? The Fivio, the child support joint.
Who?
Like now he's just being trolled by everybody.
Did you call him Fivio?
What's his name?
Fivio?
It's Fivio sounds better. You should-
Fivio? Oh my
He done
God.
changed his bad name.
Yeah, he should change it. 'Cause I like Fivio. But anyway, he did the child support joint and like they just going crazy on some.
Right, yeah,
it's been-
for sure.
No, I seen a dude in
Yeah.
jail, and he spelled "free me" with some ramen.
You know how much it took to get them ramens?
Bruh.
It was a lot of ramen there. In there. He had a
His
store.
motherfucking commissary.
Yo,
He
do
had
you
some there.
understand? Do you understand
He had
what
a
he had
store.
to do?
That is definitely a prison term.
Like, bruh.
A store.
On God, like he really
Like,
did,
That is such a prison term.
bruh. Oh my goodness, no, for sure. And I heard some, some rumblings about like the NBA YoungBoy, and then I think Lil Durk was like that was the targeted rap beef or whatever.
Yeah, so was
And it's
it
just
really a
like-
beef? I thought it.
Well,
It-
it
it- I
thought they was on
stems
the
from
album
something
together,
before that.
Yeah,
It
and
was
they
like a
just pushed
diss,
too much.
like a old block diss, like it was like this whole thing. But it's like I think every time I see this shit, I be feeling like it's sponsored by the label, like not the label of like the black guy who's the A&R that's in the studio with you, or not. Don't go in the studio, A&Rs. But like it's the white executives and shit who was like, yo, well, we gonna make it spicy this second quarter. We actually gonna start this rap beef off early, January 1, and then we gonna see what it turns into, see who can get shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? For real, that's literally what it is. Like, if we being honest, like all these like white executives know the cost of like really promoting super violent lyrics and like super violent lifestyles and then whatever. Like they're completely aware of this and they're monetizing it so that whoever can make the biggest moment will get them the biggest payout. It's like people have been seeing through this. It's not but it's literally gonna end up with somebody being like turn into violence, like somehow, some way. Hopefully, I pray to God that it doesn't end up with somebody being killed. But like, if it's like two rival gangs who like tote guns like all the time, like you don't think somebody's gonna think to use it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and like if it was really on some gang shit, to your point, like shit would have been popped off already.
Yeah,
like Chicago niggas, like they don't play. You feel me? When it comes down to get into the business, they don't play. So whether you're industry or not, it don't really matter.
Right, exactly.
If you got that in you always got that in you.
Right, exactly.
So I think there's something to that, to that little industry play.
That's part of the problem too.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that another time.
What's the part of the problem?
I feel like after a certain amount of time, once you get some money, you get the eyes on you, it's time to let things go. I know it's hard to get out of that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
A lot of them just can't, and they don't want to. So, but anyway.
I think it's interesting because like you do see, and this is kind of off topic, but you kind of do see similar to like YoungBoy, right? Like where he's like facing jail time now. We were talking about this off camera. Like he's facing jail time now, and it's interesting to see that what led up to him kind of facing jail time, like what he was doing outside of the music. And it's like, why do you think that's necessary for your career? Well, not even for your career, for your lifestyle, for your livelihood, like I guess the money you're making to like do shit legally on the side. And, I think when I think about it that way, it almost seems easy to be like, oh, that's just stupid. Like, it's just fucking dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, he love the streets, like, whatever. Like, but it's not that easy. I feel like it's super complex, specifically with the fact that, like, even at the height of YoungBoy, like, what we know he's the biggest selling artist on YouTube and, like, the highest charting, it's like superstar, icon numbers he's pushing, Why does he need to be, trafficking or, like, being involved with people who are trafficking or, like, involved with some sort of, actual gang who's doing whatever? Like,
that just could be.
When you in that
like,
life, it's hard to just turn that switch off
or he not really getting money.
I was about to say,
but it's like that's not uncommon, is it?
It's really not.
You know what I'm saying? Especially like
starting out.
You know what I mean?
People sign bad deals.
Put him and three of his homies in like a boardroom with all white executives and shit. They might love the antics, but not pay him a red cent. They be like, oh yeah, jump on the table, do all the like call me a nigga. You know what I'm saying? When they'll probably say it. But I ain't paying you shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's a crazy thing. Like. On one hand, it feels like you almost got to be almost seemingly white sounding to like get the deal in the boardroom. But it's like I'm myself, you don't want to pay me for that.
Right.
Because, the racists, who are at the top, like they get to dictate where the money goes. And it's nuts. It's nuts.
You want me to play this other person in order to appease you. And then to the masses, you want me to be the black guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
you get paid and I get
I'm
the guy on the string and shit.
Opened up a can of worms. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. No, we eventually we will hash that out a little bit more because I feel like there's a lot to that.
Is.
Yeah. What else y'all see this week?
Oh, I wanted to talk about what y'all favorite biopic is. Like biopic. I don't know how y'all be saying it these days.
I say biopic. I say biopic.
A lot of people say biopic. I don't like that word.
Biopic feels like.
I think I heard biopic a lot.
Like biography. Like.
It sounds very like.
Biopic.
Like nature-y, like science-y biopic.
Well, I guess that kind of does make sense. Like motion picture, like a biography that's of like on picture frame. Right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. It's like GIF and GIF.
However it come out at the time.
Because I'm definitely saying GIF.
Yeah, I don't say GIF.
I said GIF for a while. Like for a while. Is that embarrassing?
GIF?
Yeah.
I said GIF for a while, bro. Like I was in college and I was still saying GIF. Like on God, like. Cause I really thought I was like, yo, that's the shit. Cause it's like a GIF, like, but nah, it's
a GIF.
Nah, fam.
Yeah.
Nah, fam. I'ma own it. I was a proud GIF sayer early. It wasn't even on my type time. All right, whatever. Next topic, whatever.
All right.
That's wild.
All right.
But my favorite biopic is the Jackson movie.
There's a lot. Okay, you got like
Of
Ray.
course, it's not going to be the
Get on
fucking,
up. Temptation.
Damn, I can't use it now. That's crazy.
You
All
can
right.
use King Richard. You could use.
I
A lot.
I literally
actually,
still haven't seen King Richard.
actually,
Why have you not seen
yo,
that?
wait a
Ah,
second.
fumbled
This
that.
just became
Hidden
a movie review
Figures is on
podcast.
that
Listen,
list.
King Richard.
Ali, Red Tails. It's a lot of stuff on there.
Yo. All right, so like,
Red Tails
all right,
is
is
a very
is a
good movie.
biopic
Yeah.
just anything that's like a historical story?
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's kind of all right. That's
that's an accurate depiction of something historical.
yeah,
It's biographical.
yeah, I guess.
Because Ray, like that's his life.
I mean,
They
we could
probably
even
spruced it up a
consider
little
like
bit,
the
but that was his
Wu-Tang
life.
joint like
Yeah.
a biopic too, which is like actually first of all, honorable mention to fucking ODB's son, who is exactly like him.
He
Like
really
he is like he's perfect for the role. But no, King Richard I think is probably one of the best movies I've seen. Like, and I mean it in the specific type of film that it is. Like, it just kind of stands alone, you know.
Yeah, I definitely.
It's so good. It's
You need
so
to watch
good, man. And especially like to see, and I'm not gonna stay on this long, but especially to see like a father like really, you know, go to the end of the earth for his children, and to have a plan that he, you know, a black man on film making a plan that was bulletproof, that was sound and intelligent, and he followed that shit through. And his fucking daughters are champions, they're icons, you know, because of the plan and because, you know, he really loved his daughters and he loved his family, you know, whatever, you know, comes with that is whatever, but that actually happened. And to see that on film is nuts. You do not see that every day. There's a lot more at 10, but you know, well,
Is that your
yeah.
pick?
That's your pick.
yeah, I'll choose King Richard. I mean, if
It's
I
so
didn't
many.
think about the
Selma,
question, and
Fruitvale
you know, but
Station.
yeah, so
I don't
King
know.
Richard's cool.
But the reason I brought it up was because I've seen a bunch of videos of Ray. Because I think Ray
I'm
did
dead.
it for me, so that's probably my top one.
Yeah.
You saw that video with Ray Charles and
Yeah, it
And
was
Jamie
a few of
Foxx?
them.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
It's bruh.
Oh my goodness.
He got his
First of all,
blessing.
Jamie Foxx is a national treasure,
Yes.
but Ray Charles is like,
but the way that like Ray
man.
was genuinely like
He's a genius.
impressed by what
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
like,
He was
that
so excited, like
that
for
was
him
good
to
though.
play
yeah,
him. Like
so good, so good.
it just made me love it even more.
Yeah.
But the Temptations, don't get me wrong. I know that's my.
All right,
Temptations is good,
I
but
got
nothing
I got a
beats-
second
like,
question.
nothing beats the Jackson Family.
I got a second question. What's the worst biopic you ever seen?
Oh,
The Michael Jackson one flex.
That's gonna be everyone's answer because what?
Fucking
Who
terrible.
okayed that?
Powder. Powder. That's what he looked like. First of all,
Dude.
Yo.
what was they thinking?
No, what was
I need
he
to put that
thinking by
picture
saying yes?
right here.
What-
Can
what-
can I put that picture right here? What was they doing?
We would have filmed the trailer. I would look.
What
at that
was
and be
they doing?
like, I don't think
right.
this is for me.
Fam.
I'm out.
What?
I'll pass.
Yeah, no,
All
for
right.
real. I'm good.
He definitely should have passed. He probably would have still had a career.
You know,
Bruh, I think he was already on the.
In my
he was probably on the
mind.
way out. Honestly, I mean, he wasn't.
that episode of Atlanta. What's the?
Oh, Teddy Perkins.
Teddy Perkins.
Ooh.
If I feel like that was like
Ooh, that was so
him.
believable. Teddy Perkins was believable. I believe this was a real name. But that's hilarious.
No, I always think that. All right,
Man.
sorry.
Man, when they bringing Atlanta back? When that new season coming back? I thought it was supposed to
Soon.
come
I thought
back
it
like
was
next.
soon, right?
This year, huh? Like,
I thought it was last year. It's
no,
supposed to be.
I think it was in 2022.
It need to
okay.
hurry up.
But yeah,
I'm
speaking
waiting.
of biopics. See, I saw the Sha'Carri Richardson documentary, right?
The
I didn't see the
trailer.
documentary. I seen the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you didn't see the
I was,
documentary.
like, I was about to ask, was
We're
it
not
out?
sure
Because
when it's
I'm
coming
mad that I
out.
didn't watch it yet.
No, it actually comes out this week.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, not out. It's going to be viewed at the Sundance
Right.
Film Festival.
Right.
And
Which
then
is
it's supposed to
currently
come out in a couple months after that.
Executive produced by Virgil Abloh.
Executive
We actually thought
produced
about
by
going.
Virgil Abloh.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's
yeah.
all virtual now. But they actually
so-
had. When we looked, they had tickets like where you could actually go, but
I hate
it
COVID.
ended up being online.
I hate COVID.
So yeah,
So
the
bad.
documentary is called Sub 11 Seconds. Like you said, it's being executively produced by Virgil Abloh.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I guess the premise of the documentary is based off of the 2020 Olympics.
Right.
She went through the Olympic trials.
Right, following up.
Yep, following up everything that happened. But my thing is you think that's enough for to sustain a full biopic or a full documentary?
It talks about her, like, the passing of her mom and stuff like that. So
I get it.
it could be, but it's what
I feel like I'm missing something. Here.
what was
like,
it? Is
there's
it a
something
short?
else that
Like,
I'm just
how
not
long
seeing.
is it supposed to be?
I don't know if I don't know. It's
I believe it's 90
But
minutes.
think about King Richard though. They took that
I'm so torn.
kind of short time and put it into. They didn't do the whole story, but it still was good. So maybe
True.
they
I
could-
mean, if it's not intentionally trying to do like from birth to now to
Right.
the Olympics, then I mean, I get it. If it is like a specific, documentary about that event and like what it took for her to get here, kind of the story is like, you can just tell it. You don't have to show it or like play it out in character. If it is only about the Tokyo Olympics and it's short,
I haven't.
to be fair, see, this is why, like, when artists, like, get into different things and that not necessarily their lane, like, you can almost accept that it's going to be, like, a short. Like, say if somebody who's, like, a painter that we love, who's, like, in the culture, and then they go do a film. You can almost expect it to probably be, like, 45 minutes or something like that. It probably won't be, like, a full-length feature film, like, 2 hours, 45, like Lord of the Rings and shit. It's like we almost accept that it will be shorter. But I think because of that fact, Virgil Abloh is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Because he's able to get away with doing a really specific
That's
moment.
why it's at Sundance. 'Cause
He's able to do a moment, and it's at Sundance. It's like
Right,
it's
right.
got
That's
what I was
selected.
thinking,
It's
too,
nuts.
Like
you know.
Sundance plus Virgil, like it has to be.
Yeah,
good.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be crazy.
But like, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm like, that's why I was thinking like
He does
what am I
one-on-ones,
missing? I
too.
feel like I'm missing something.
But
'cause
it's her
like,
whole 20,
In her story,
21
or-
journey.
in the story.
It's her whole 2021 journey though, so it's like
Yeah.
you get the passing, you get the weed thing, you get
Yeah.
enough to get
Yeah.
It's just about how it's shot, I think.
Yeah.
Because we got all the facts, we already know what happened.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see it whenever it actually does drop.
Yeah, for sure.
It's supposed to drop towards the end of the year,
Okay.
so be looking out for that.
Okay. Hopefully it wins an award too.
Yeah.
That would be. I
Hopefully,
mean,
depending on how good it is.
not from no Aaliyah effect shit though. Like not because they just love that Virgil Abloh and whatever. Like I wanted to like actually win because like he's a creator and I think he's pretty good at making one-on-one. So he's
Is that an actual term, the Aaliyah effect?
the Aaliyah effect. I don't think so, but I'm going to coin that.
I thought it was a
isn't.
thing. The way you said it, I was like, okay. The Aaliyah effect,
I wasn't
alright,
pulling
now.
from no reference. I'm just. That was off top. I'm about to spit a 9. Not an 8. Not a 16. A 9. Because you ain't never seen that before. All new shit. All right, y'all. Yeah, man. Like, and I definitely, being on Twitter this week, you see a myriad of shit. But, like, one of the things I love about Twitter is the fact that they do not leave things alone. Like, they do not, something goes crazy on Twitter, something, a story that pops up that, like, some random city where, like, the police are trying to bury stuff. Like, Twitter will not let it die.
They
And
sure
I
will not.
love Twitter for that. One of the things I seen that was like one of those scenarios was Lauren Smith Fields, who was actually, found dead in, I believe, a hotel room.
It was her apartment.
In her apartment, actually,
Yeah.
with another gentleman that she met on an app called Bumble.
Right. A 37-year-old man?
Yeah, she was 23.
Yeah, she's 23. So she met up with him,
Yeah.
and he's the one that called 911.
Mm.
And he said that she was unresponsive. Police got there, and he's a nice guy, So they let him go.
He's a nice guy,
I'm going to give you some more facts, though. So it happened December 12th, 2021. Of course, she's 23. It's in Bridgeport, Connecticut. So had a Bumble date. They botched her investigation. It's just really sad. Like, so he's in her apartment. He gave his account of the story, and they took it for a word. But he met her, went to her apartment. She told him bring a bottle of tequila. He did that. Got there, watched a movie. Drunk a little bit, had dinner. She fell asleep during the movie. He carried her to her bed and laid next to her. And then he woke up, went to the bathroom. He heard her snoring. He came back, 6 a.m., He woke up, she was unresponsive. The owners of the apartment complex didn't contact the family. They didn't even know she was, gone or nothing like that. They just happened to show up at the apartment and seen a note that said, "If you're looking for Lauren, call this number." And then, and then the person said, "Oh, like, she's dead. Call the police or like wait there. Detectives are gonna come."
I
Like,
would have burnt the city down just off that.
Bro, off top. Like,
you don't
oh
tell
my
me that
God.
that my daughter's dead, bro. Like,
What the
and it's
fuck?
already some shaky shit because his account of the situation, it just doesn't add up. They
Yeah.
said that there were a hell of a lot of drugs in her system.
Yeah.
So if there were all those drugs in her system, why was that not recounted in your story? In that
Yeah.
story, like if you were there all
She
night,
went to the bathroom
morning.
for.
she said she was bleeding from her nose, but the family went there and said it was a big blood stain in the middle of her bed.
Big
Right.
blood stain in the middle of her bed. I'm sorry.
Enough
Our
of the
noses
nose.
near my stomach.
Oh, but
I
mind
don't
you,
think it is.
they didn't collect any of this evidence for weeks after. They didn't collect it at all. They didn't
Crime
do
scene
anything.
just
Just came.
withered away.
They didn't even talk to him. They said he seemed like a nice guy and let him go.
Bro.
That's just ridiculous.
But also, apparently,
That shit is
the original
crazy.
detective had connections to him. His name, actually, I
What?
have his name. Oh, Matthew LaFontaine.
Man. We gonna put his picture up
Mm.
somewhere up here.
It's
the
just
fuck?
Wild to even think about that. Like,
That's
But it's off of an app. Like, I'm. Yo,
bro, they
like
let this man
I'm
go. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. That
like,
just
bro.
doesn't why is he not in custody? Why are y'all?
Yeah,
not
no, he
he's
should have
not
been
a
under the
suspect.
jail.
Like he's
Like,
not.
He is
a
the
suspect.
only
He's not
suspect.
He's not even. No, according to the police, he's not a suspect.
He's the only
Yeah, he
suspect.
should- yeah, literally.
Like, this nigga
The
should be under the
only
jail.
reason they're really doing something is because they found a small dose of fentanyl in her system. So by right, they have to do like some, narcotics kind of case or something like that.
And if it wasn't for
And
that,
then they're ruling her death an accident.
yo,
An accident. Child.
man,
Accident. How the
It's
fuck?
a mess.
I'm so dead, bro. Like, that is literal whiteness. Like, I don't know what else it is. Like, it has to just be whiteness. And that's the thing, because, like, if this was a white woman who was, I don't know, killed or turned up missing,
Oh, there was.
it'll
one.
be an entire fucking nation fucking trying to find her, Gabby Petito.
Right.
Like,
Like,
Jesus Christ.
That's the family's
Like-
main point. Like y'all was doing all this for you feel me? for
Hooping,
this
hollering.
woman,
It's
but
crazy.
we didn't get no information
At all.
We didn't get.
Didn't even
an
know.
investigation. We can't get anything
Yo.
like that. Not even a sliver of what she got.
Man,
Nah.
Not saying what she got she shouldn't have received because she should have.
absolutely.
My daughter should receive the same thing.
Absolutely. It
For
should be
sure.
the same. They show you how much they value black life. I mean,
Time and
all
time
the
again.
time. Right. If this don't wake you up, I got like 10 other things that'll happen in the next week that will.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. What qualifies you to be a nice? First of all, he is like, he looked kind of stocky a little bit. Like,
No, I
he
mean,
looked like
nice
he could
black
like
men y'all done put in
overpower
jail
somebody.
for the wrong reasons.
Like, bro, nice guy. Jesus Christ. If a black man was equally as built as this dude, he'd be very menacing and threatening, terrifying, whatever
Oh,
adjective you
he'd
want
be
to
the
say.
prime
Call him a
suspect.
thug.
Oh, for sure. Big prime suspect.
Please.
Oh, he had been in some jail cell by now. We didn't even know he was locked up. He would have just been locked up in a cell, just fucking there and shit. Like so many other black people. That's the thing. That shit is crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, it's super, super sad. Like,
but
that's
we ain't gonna let it die.
Oh yeah, Twitter won't either.
Yes.
Super sad, man. I do want to get into this album review. It's been weighing on me all week, I will say.
You really excited for this album?
I am, and
Because he knows you.
A lot
the
of people
album,
are excited for this album though. I was excited for this album too.
the album is called "Sick"
It surely is.
by Earl Sweatshirt,
Mm-hmm.
aka TB or Thebe Kagatsitsao. I can't pronounce his last name because it's a K and a G right next to it, and it does not mean kilograms. I'm just saying, I do not know what that means. But that's what I'm doing. Kagatsitsao. That's what his name is. We're gonna put it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all pronounce it. Y'all pronounce it.
I'm just gonna take your word for it, and I'm gonna back you on that.
This is his follow-up album from Feet of Clay, which was I think 2018. Don't quote me. And before that was I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside, and or some rap songs, which is previously.
Feet of Clay was in 2019.
2019. See, it's years, bro. It's a year. It's a year. But equally, I enjoyed all of these projects, and for a while I didn't really understand Earl. Like for a while, it took me a while up until literally this album for me to understand like who he is as an artist, and I only really knew him in the context of like Odd Future. Right. I kind of only knew him as like the kid that got sent away, because he was dealing with drugs and behavioral issues by his mom in fucking Samoa or some shit. Like I knew that, but like I didn't know him. Like I didn't know anything he was dealing with. And it's crazy because all these albums are like snapshots in his life, and he's kind of showing you, and it's kind of cliche, but like this progression of like where his mind is going. And I think this album really kind of, I don't want to say ties it in a knot, but it does fill a lot of holes, and like it's like a really good kind of composite of like all the things he's felt, as well as kind of where he's now mentally with a child, kind of in this more mature area in his life.
I ain't gonna lie, the last album, when I hear that, it give me anxiety.
It give you anxiety? He was like super depressed. I don't mean, I'm not there to know or ask him, but like it feels like he was like really depressed.
My G, whatever you was trying to portray, I feel it, because that shit
went
gave
straight
me
through
anxiety. I was
the pack loud cut right through.
What is happening? But
man, so what did you guys think about the album overall, and individually give me your standout tracks? So anybody can go first.
Okay, so overall I will say that I did like it. I didn't like that the title track wasn't good to me. Like it wasn't my favorite. I felt like that song should have been better, but we'll get to that. It's like 24 minutes long. I think that's decent. It could be longer, but I'm not complaining on the length. I always base my reviews off the length because I'm not finna sit through no 37 songs. Chris Brown. Anyway.
You like it what you see?
Also,
yep. It was 10 songs. I like that. So I think the songs I like the most are Old Friend, 2010, Vision, I don't know if I'm gonna say this right, but Tabula Rasa.
Tabula Rasa.
Tabula Rasa. Okay, that is my top song. That is the best song I think on there. Lie, Lobby. Those are all. But my top 4 is, I already said them. Oh, Fire in the Hole. That's also in my top 4.
Yeah. What about you, Monte?
Like I said, I was actually really looking forward to this album. And it kind of just didn't do what I needed it to do for me.
Oh,
just
Here
me
it is.
personally.
Here it is.
I love the song "Sick." That's my shit. I actually play that shit like I run that song out. I love that song. But yeah, that was probably the culmination of the album for me. Just that one song. And
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's a good point. Actually, because title tracks just traditionally, kind of encompass the entire album, but like this one really did a good job. Like I listened to it back, like, and to be fair, to your point, when I first listened to the album without like lyrics and I just listened to it blind, I hated Sick. Like I did not like it at all, and I specifically didn't like Sick. If I'm not mistaken, Navy Blue produced it. That's his. I think it's his brother, or he's related to him. I think.
Yes, he did produce that.
2010 is a good song too.
I know. I like that one a lot. I got that 3 chicks. Boom.
But when like that little section in the middle where he's like pleasure by the gram. First of all, okay, overall I'm getting like some 3 main things from this album is like it's like addiction, family, and loss. Like those are the biggest 3 things I felt like. And mental health is like a looming thing, like depression, mental health, like just dealing with all of those things ends up becoming a mental health episode. And I think that's so interesting because the album is called Sick. like mentally, mental health, like sick. But it also is this double entendre between the pandemic and like how that pandemic has like really affected him, not just being in I think he says a fever in the cabin, like it's not specifically just being locked in, but it's like, what you turn to in the event that you now become isolated because of a sickness out of your house. Now you're developing sicknesses inside of your house because of that thing. And I think it was so nuts, because when I first listened to the album, I didn't get any of that. Like I didn't hear, much. I just kind of listened to it sonically. And of course Alchemist just fucking shines on this album. Jesus Christ, I don't know what he does. I don't know what that back fucking boiler room with the studios, I don't know what he's doing in there, but it's right. Like I don't know. I know it smells crazy in there. But no, for sure. I got all of those things, and I think, I think knowing the other albums and knowing like how Earl deals with his past, I'm going to go through each of these like songs, and I would like, get your guys' commentary about these based on some of the things I pointed out. Mm-hmm. So like Old Friend, it opens up, Alchemist produces this track, right? It's the intro. It kind of gets you like where you need to be. One of the biggest things I had caught from it was like this weird, he does it so interestingly how he's able to dually talk about things at the same time. Like he's talking about two different things in the same stanza, but every line is for both of them. It's for both of the, parts of the metaphor, and they fit like super well. And I think he's talking about the old friend, I think, is writing. I think the old friend is like rapping, or the things he loved in addiction. There was he talks about the coronavirus. He always has a line that always mentions like something about being sick or like the coronavirus, like a strong spirit with a body couldn't get asylum. The cost of living high. Don't cross the picket line and get the virus. I thought that was interesting because like he's talking about wages and people not being able to get a job, and if you do actually try to step out and make a bag, you're gonna most likely get sick or most likely get COVID or whatever. And Wildcat has got to get him in a bind. Stay inside. No, I came out the thicket smiling. I love that line. I know I came out the thicket smiling, because the thicket is like trees. It's like a bunch of, I came out the trees smiling. He's already telling us like he's addicted to weed. He's already telling us like, yo, I'm already dealing with this shit that I've been talking about these last 3 albums, and this is like where it comes to like a head. Where like I'm really in the brunt of it because I'm locked up. I'm isolated. And I'm only turning to the things that I'm addicted to now. And now I'm dealing with all of it at once. And my favorite part of it is this 3-line stanza where he says, blinking for some feasible methods to free yourself. Smoking weed. Split it with my hand like cigarilles. Slick oil in a fish's gill. And I think that last thing sums it up perfectly. Everything you do is you're turning to it. It's almost like a vice that you feel is comfortable in the moment, but it's all dangerous. Like it's all like, making you more sick, And I thought that was so wonderfully done to open the album, because it just keeps going from there. Monte, what do you think about the first song?
Honestly, I like the production value of it.
Yeah,
I love the beat. I like the lyrics. I think it's really his flow that I don't fuck with. In this, I don't know what it is, to be honest with you.
I actually
late.
I really enjoyed every beat that he had on there. I think
Yeah.
the beats were really good. I think
the
they
beats were
fit
great.
so well.
Produced by Black Noise, Alchemist,
Alexander Spit. I don't know
Yeah.
what that is. But Rob Chambers.
What do y'all think about the lines he had mentioned about him leaving Odd Future? And like, there's a couple lines he put, like in the first joint, he says, "And what remains of the wolves, nil." Like, he's like, what remains of Odd Future is nothing. Like, and I don't know how he feels about it, but like through the album, I keep getting these little feels that he's like, yo, I need some bread for like the legacy, but like I'm not seeing no residuals. Like, and I only really, and the thing is, what is the joint? What is the joint? Titanic with I can't remember the guy's name, but he's another person who is also in Odd Future that he's only cool with him now. Like Lanek, I think his name is. No, Nikel Smith, Lanek, Jesus Christ, Lil Neck Smith. Nikel Smith is he's like an artist, an actor, but he's also on Odd Future. But that's his only like friend now. That's still from the old group, and it's like, man, I just feel like I feel like he's feeling it, because it's like now once all of the shit is kind of settled, like you kind of sort things out in your head. Now you start really looking at how things played out. And it's like, I hope he's getting residual ends from Odd Future shit. Like, I hope Tyler ain't dogging him. You know what I'm saying?
Like, also, if he is going through, like, you know, this mental thing, and if they weren't really there for him, he could feel like, you know, y'all made jokes about why I was away, or like why, like what really happened to me. Y'all didn't really, you know. So, and them niggas don't seem like the type that's very sensitive. They might be, I don't know.
A little fucked up.
They all, so, you know, I don't know. And what's the name's doing Badass or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, like, everybody, Jackass.
Badass.
Someone should make a movie called Badass.
Y'all knew what the hell I was talking about.
That's a low grade version of Jackass.
Bunch of badass little kids shit.
You just make kids do stunts? That's probably illegal in a few states. I'm just saying.
Yeah, don't do that. Do not do that. You did not hear that here.
No, hold on. Cut that out.
But you know, they a few of them went this, you know, different ways. So who knows?
Yeah, man. Man, it's so interesting because he'll like what he does so well in a lot of these songs is like he'll do a small stanza where he like wraps you into like this extended metaphor, where it's like he's painting this random picture of something else while still having an overall theme, while still connecting all three of these things to the overall theme of the album, you know, is like really hard to do in real time. And I think one of these joints was like a freestyle. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's short because it's a lot of work to put into like these verses. Like
he has like a lot of short songs. Like the last half of the album is like most of the songs like
minute something.
Yeah, there are moments and feels and
and that's what he's saying. Like this is a vibe album. He was just like in the studio just going.
Goes to 2010, produced by Black Noise. It's a pretty good song. I like the beat off top. It's one of the singles from before the album dropped.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a theory about what this song is about. I got a theory that the song is about him smashing a girl and then being too high to remember the night, so he didn't even know what happened. He blinked and it was morning, and he smashed and didn't use a rubber. I'm gonna tell you what made me think that.
Yes.
And it was like this specific thing, but everything else kind of went around it. It said, crescent moon wink, when I blinked it was gone. Left the crib smack, no sheath on the sword. Made it by the skin of my teeth, thank God. I know what that means.
Yeah.
And I felt that. When I heard it, I was like, no, I know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, real life. Like, I think these are, like, important moments. Because, like, he's going through a lot of stuff. And, like, through his celebrity, I'm sure there's, like, a lot of joints. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what if he ended up, you know, he has a kid now, and what if that was with one of them joints? You know what I'm saying? I think he's absolutely aware of that. Right. Like, this could have been, you know, based on me being too drunk or too high, you know what I'm saying, just fucked up and not realizing what I'm doing, and then, you know, made it by the skin of my teeth. Thank God. You know what I mean?
That's what I felt the song was about. It was about, like, him having so many near misses.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I just like that he referenced my favorite movie in the beginning of it.
In the car, accident, like there was a couple different references to like.
And the poker reference, the poker stanza was so hard. Like, and I'm gonna put. Should I just do it? Should I say the lines?
Nope, we'll just pop it in.
Just pop it in
somewhere.
Just pop it in. Yeah. The mood's changed. Look at what I made of it. When the mood changed, I'm a poker facer.
Oh, he did.
It's a new day. Who got all the aces?
Did not listen.
Who be folding late? Who know when to play dead? Who sit up straight when the roof? Hold on. Who sit up straight when the roof caved in is one of the hardest lines. Like, because that's real shit. Like, who gonna be real? Like, real shit. Like, he says it so like articulately. Like, but he's just saying like, yo, I'm real based on where I came from. Like, just being like a young rap prodigy. And shit, like I made something out of nothing and made nothing gold, like made nothing turn straight gold and shit. Like, you know, not many people can do that. And I think he's a part of this, like, I I think the reason why this album doesn't translate to some is because he's kind of like become a part of this collective of like coded rap. And I think we really should graduate to coded rap again. Like at a certain point we were there, but now all of our language has been like hijacked, you know, and just, you know, anyone can articulate like the things we're saying like in our music. And I think Earl Sweatshirt, like Mike, the artist, and like a couple other people, you know, of course, under the tutelage of Rock Marciano, a la the God, you know, I think they're kind of charging the helm, especially Armand Hammer too, who makes a appearance on this album. But I think they are at the helm of this coded kind of cryptic rap that can really shield our stories again, you know. But you know, I think listening to it with the lyrics will definitely make a huge difference because it starts to actually become a story.
They want to listen to Never Broke Again or whatever the hell.
Oh, they want to listen to Young Boy?
Whatever.
We want to do an in-depth rap review on Young Boy.
Wow.
All right, that was disrespectful. All right, my bad.
Man, listen, hold on.
All right, my bad.
Because you know his fans go hard.
Relax,
for
relax,
sure. They
relax. I
definitely-
know his name.
They on YouTube too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
He is on YouTube, so he gonna flag the fuck out our video. She said what?
Man.
What you say?
Demonetize them right now.
Man, and Sick came the title track, and
Mm.
I remember I said I didn't like it, but like it was like the line of he was talking about the Black Betty. And I think he was talking about a woman again too, like the Black Betty shorty really from the West. Like, and I think it was probably and it's probably the same shorty he's referencing in these two songs. Like, it's like he had smashed and then, you know, left, and then now she kind of came back, like karma came back through this woman who was like actually pretty messy. And, you know, he's kind of like, and like you said, to these near misses of like all these moments where like he could have gotten really fucked up or really like, you know, destroyed his career or whatever. Like, he's always kind of found his way around it, you know. And I think these are his reflections now. These are him like going back through all of the moments and saying like, damn, like I'm pretty mature. Like, look at all the shit that I went through, you know. Yeah, fuck a second chance. Someone let the devil in. It's my shit. And we moved Division. Also produced by Black Noise with Zaloopers. And the only part of the album I don't like is Zaloopers' verse.
Really?
That's the
I don't
only
like it
part of
either.
this album I don't like.
So I agree with you.
Oh,
I
God.
like that song.
I don't like it either.
It got.
I like
checks.
Earl's verse. I think this is one of his best verses. But I don't like the Zaloopers' verse. I haven't really heard much of his music, but, you know.
Yeah, me either.
I'm not even sure if I'm saying his name right.
What didn't you like about it?
I feel like it lacked depth. You know,
To be on the Earl Sweatshirt project?
like honestly, like
Yeah.
like to you know, honestly, like we hear, you know, Billy Woods' verse, we hear fucking Elucid's verse, like, yo, talk about how deep a verse can be. We can skip forward to the tabula rasa version of this part of this portion of this video. Tabula rasa portion of this video, like you will like understand how in depth a verse can be, like, but I feel like it just lacked depth. Like, even the guy who was doing the ad-libs on Titanic, who I, you know, whatever, like, even that had, like, some meaning, like, because it was leading into verses, you know, leading into, like, parts of the verse. Like, it just did not do it for me. The only part that I kind of liked was, like, the Desert Eagle joint, the Desert Eagle line, and he does, like, the no Visine at the end. I think it meant more than, like, oh, you know, than just, like, not using no Visine, you know, for the eyes. I think it's actually like meant to say like he's hiding something. Like, I want to be with somebody who I don't have to hide, you know, with, you know. I want somebody who's kind of real, whatever, but I don't really care about his love interest. But I did like the little entendre, like Desert Eagles, Blasphemy, no Visine, you know, it's kind of cool. But other than that, the verse was pretty lackluster.
I mean,
You
but I
know.
don't know. The song seemed pretty chill anyway, and
Earl's verse though.
I mean,
This whole album is chill.
yeah. So like, I guess
He really
next,
gets
'cause
into
that's
his
my favorite song.
Oh man! Before we move on, he does this little, you know, this thing about the pandemic. He goes back into the pandemic a little bit more, where he kind of talks about the moratorium, you know, and no circus in the tent, I think is what the line was. And I think that was dope because it's like, you know, people are literally living in tents. And actually, during the time of this album, he's in LA. Other than the one where he mentions he's 26, because he was he's 27 now when he made the album. But he made one of the joints when he was 26. I can't remember what that song was. But he's in LA during the time of this album, and tents mean a very specific thing in LA, Skid Row, you know. And what does Skid Row look like in an actual, like, you know, COVID rampant America? It probably like doubled in size, you know. So like he says moratorium extendo like a blunt, and I like, yeah, make it longer, you know what I mean? And I thought he just dances around these metaphors, these phrases, like it's super easy to him, but you know, he's going crazy. Oh, also he says fuck out my face with a syringe or something to that effect. Like he's not, you know, fuck with the vaccine. If you didn't already know this, I mean, it kind of like makes sense. It's kind of his vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the next song, which is my favorite song on the album, Tabula Rasa. Tabula Rasa translates as clean slate. That's the, you know, translation of it. It's also produced by Alchemist, if you needed to know. And Arm & Hammer is a duo group. One of the group members is named Elucid. The other group member name is Billy Woods, a.k.a. Woods. Recently, he kind of just changed his name to Woods. He also doesn't show his face. He, like, blocks his face out. You know, not like MF Doom, but, like, he literally pixelates his face out whenever he's on camera. You know? Yeah.
I wonder if he
Now that I
like,
think
gets
about
other
it,
people to do it for him too.
their album cover was a
Probably
pig or
does.
something. Right?
Haram, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was an artist, I would do some shit like that, like wear a mask all the time.
Also, Earl Sweatshirt was on Haram, too.
Mm-hmm.
He featured on Haram. Also produced by Alchemist.
We didn't review that, did we? Or did we?
I don't believe we reviewed Haram. I would have loved to. I would have loved to.
feel like I have. Oh,
Especially listen to it now because Earl talks about his dad. No, he talks about his father being sick in Haram on his verse. And then a lot of those themes come back in this album where like he's dealing with the passing of his father because his father passed away shortly after he made that verse. And it's like, you know, he's dealing with a lot of that here. But to start the joint off the strength, I'm not as numb as I thought. Like that's probably, that's like, what does that mean to you? Off the strength, I'm not as numb as I thought.
Honestly, right now that means a hell of a lot to me.
Like, damn, bro,
because
that did kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you could have said it
I've been
that.
Feeling like realizing that I have feelings. You feel me?
You know,
bro.
Yeah,
and he starts the
that
verse
line-
like that
line
off
actually
top.
Set with me a little bit. I was like,
Yo, like, yo, Elucid is one of the most slept on lyricists. Well, he's underground, of course, but like he's one of the most slept on lyricists that I know. This dude is nuts, bro. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's so many things I could go into. But like this, his verse kind of feels like he's referencing like sex. He's referencing like you know, in the beginning it's almost like he's kind of braggadocious, but then kind of towards the end he's talking about kind of like his more intimate moment. But then it does this transition into Billy Woods' verse, and Billy, the flyer said grown and sexy. Like, and he just paints a picture of him going to an event and then meeting a young lady at the end where he's like frying chicken for her and watching reruns and shit, fingers and lips glistening. I was like, yo, first of all, I thought Elucid, you know, when I first heard him alone from Arm & Hammer, I thought he was like nuts. And then I heard Billy, and Billy he's just crazy. I actually think this is one of his best verses, by the way. But he's just like, he's super creative. And the way he approaches songs is just so interesting. Like, man, I can literally go on for 3 hours about like why I think Billy Woods is interesting, specifically from his last two projects. Was crazy. Like, we'll probably eventually review one of the Billy Woods projects, maybe, you know, if it's if you can stomach it.
The most memorable songs for me are the ones that tell a story, or it's all about how you line it up. Like you can, like Drake, you know how he got all them captions. I can't remember that shit. I don't. If it's not the chorus, move along. But like, you know, I remember all the ones that's like at least tell some type of story. But
Yeah, man. I gotta point out the line. I gotta point out it's Hell Up in Harlem, so meet me across 110th Street. And I thought that line was interesting because it's two movies. Like it's Hell Up in Harlem is one movie, and Meet Me Across Across 110th Street is another film. And he like put it in a line like so effortlessly, just like slid it in there. And I think he beautifully opens the stage for Earl to come through, who gives the best line of the song, possibly one of the most memorable lines of the album. She shimmy into the that's consent getting established. Lord, I need like the I need to edit.
I do remember that line.
I need to edit. Jesus Christ, I heard that and I had to rewind the song. I had to bring the song back. I was gonna do it anyway, but I had to do it then because I was like, he's doing way too much. He's killing me. He's killing me.
It was a fire ass line.
Killing me.
Back as soon as you heard
had to run it back.
I'm gonna go ahead and
wait. Did
I damn near dropped my phone like, ooh.
I hear this correctly.
Like my headphone was smoking like it was like, man, listen.
That was great.
Listen, man. And then
I love. Go ahead.
Yo, go ahead. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I was just gonna say I just love how this beat bleeds into the next song.
Yeah.
I just thought that was just so great.
Do we know what that sample is?
That's one of the aspects of. I was just looking at his samples too. That's one of the aspects of this album that I fuck with the most because like I love the production value of it. But how it flows. Like it's short, but like everything just kind of like transitions.
Shout out to Black Noise. Yeah. Shout out to Alchemist.
Back on some E40 shit.
Some E40 shit.
Harder storytelling.
Is this dude's name Sam I Am?
Yeah, his name is Sam I Am.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, like every one of these songs I'm looking at, like Earl, like he pulls you in this little pocket for a second. Like he'll give you the verse, but then he'll drop you in this pocket of metaphors. Like it was the end of the verse on Tabula Rasa's, like this boxing kind of like entire metaphor kind of scene he's painting, and it's crazy because man, he's able to do so many weird things, with words to connect things, specifically being sick, being mentally, ill, being depressed, being addicted, and, let's just make it a boxing entendre. Let's just figure it out. I can do that because I'm Earl. And then, we got to go to the next joint that's also produced by Alchemist called Lie. And I actually think it's a play on words. I think lie actually stands for, or not stands for, but it also means L-I-E when it's spelled L-Y-E. But I think it means both.
It was on my top 4, but I erased it for lobby. But anyway.
By the way, the sample on Lie is
Havakak? Oh, wow. Riff Raff? Riff Raff is a rock band? I thought it was a... what's his name?
What?
I cannot think of his real name. I'm trying to think of his real name. What is his real name? Riff Raff. What white rapper dude?
I know what you're talking about. What you
name?
about to say? Because if I come out and say what I think you about to say and it's not what you want to say, then I'm gonna look crazy.
I can't think of his name.
What are you?
I'm thinking of his real name. I'm trying to figure out his real name.
Oh,
I was about to say his real name. I cannot think his name.
Then.
What was you about to say?
Nothing. Not a thing.
I thought Lie was dope. Like the outro, I think specifically where he's talking and he's like detailing like holding a jar and then my hair caught on fire. That's actually an excerpt from the autobiography of Malcolm X when he like used Lie for the first time. I think his name is Shorty. He's in like a jail cell, I think, and he uses the conch or whatever for his hair, and you have to use Lie. And that excerpt was specifically from the book, and I loved the picture he painted because it's literally like a lie. Like it's literally a lie. Like not the but it's literally a lie to try to change the texture of your hair to try to be something else. Mm-hmm. Like it's lying to yourself, and I think that's what the song is about. And I love that he ended it that way because it was it just tied it all nicely. Yeah, double meanings. The next joint is Lobby with Sam I Am. And for the life of me, I feel like he's detailing a drug deal gone wrong. And actually somebody is like trying to hurt him violently. That's the assailant that he mentions in the song that I caught. Did y'all like that joint?
Yeah, it was on my top 4.
Okay.
I like the beat.
Okay.
And what he was saying a little bit, but not really. I ain't into that. Like,
I like the vibe of it. Got a smooth vibe. It's like a smoking song, but I'm not smoking.
Man, he also mentions Chicago here. He's from Chicago. He just talks about the mid, but he lives in L.A. right now. Yeah, I think he actually at the end of this mentions Vince Staples too, the guy from 65th. And I didn't actually know they had a connection, like a relationship. And apparently they cool as shit. Vince hangs out with good rappers, only the good ones.
The little, football commentator or basketball commentator he put at the end of it, at the end of that song.
I think so. Yeah. Like, look at that slide.
Yeah, it gave me really J. Cole vibes. I was like, okay.
Look at that slide. I think that.
I enjoyed.
I think that was a play on words too, low key.
He has some real nice touches. Like,
Yeah,
I
I think that was a play on words, like a slide, like you about to, like an assailant. Like I think all of that tied in. That's why, man, this man is good. I'm trying. Moving to the next joint is God Laughs, produced by Alexander Spitt.
Is this the one you said you feel like it's a freestyle?
I think it actually might have been a freestyle. Might have been.
I got
because
it.
It feels
Could
like
be.
it was.
Yeah.
I like the 13 languages joint, and I actually think he in the next line where he talks about Raymond sensed Hazel, I think that's referencing a book called Raymond's Run, and a whole different thing. But I feel like he's so smart at putting these metaphors together that it's deeper than like kind of just figuring out the answer. It's almost like you got to know the reference from something specifically, like the Bob and Beluga line he does later. I think that's from a Big Man on Campus. And I think he watched that film with his grandfather. So I feel like he's like tying all these interesting references in without even breaking a sweat, and he's just so good at it. Yeah. Booze is a fool's fragrance. I love it. Then going to the next joint, Titanic, also produced by Black Noise. Black Noise is going crazy on this album, I just want to say. Because Titanic, I was lit when I heard Titanic, which is one of the other singles. Tabula Rasa was also the second single, but this is the third one.
Yeah, he does the last two. Well, this one and the next one.
Man, like Titanic. That ad-lib guy in the back, I thought was Uzi. When I first heard him, I thought that was Uzi. He sounds exactly like Uzi. Don't try to tell me he don't sound like Uzi. And now, I knew that it wasn't him.
I could hear Tyler on this song. Not like actually, but like on this song. It gave me that vibe,
probably.
Like he should have been on it.
Especially because you're on this hip-hop rap shit now. You know what I'm saying?
If they ain't friends. But
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But I can see that. I was listening in the back like, who is that?
His name is Nakel Smith, and I definitely thought it was Samir Woods, a.k.a. Lil Uzi Vert. That joint is crazy because it was kind of like a weird switch up. Like, I didn't kind of expect him to be doing like a trap beat, but then when I heard the single, I was like, is the album going to be like this? So I wasn't sure, but I'm glad, it was just kind of this moment that he showed you like, oh, I can rap on this too, by the way. That goes to the final track in the album called Fire in the Hole, also produced by Black Noise. Man, it was a nice little tie-up on the album. I like the beat. I think he almost slightly gave a little inkling to the fans, like, yeah, I'm about to go ghost again. Because he's detailing going ghost on the shorty in the song, like, and he puts it at the end of the album. What a troll move! Like by the way, this is how I've been moving. You know what I'm about to do next, and then it's about to be like, yeah, it's 4 years without an album, 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But what did you guys think about the outro? What stood out to you?
Definitely the beat. It's like being on a calm.
Yeah, like it gave you that like,
like a
niggas, we
calm
finna
beat.
be out.
Yeah, like I'm relaxing. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I'm at a resort or some shit.
Yeah. I mean,
just chilling.
Didn't it start with blood?
He definitely just chilling. He comes and goes as he pleases. That's what he's effectively telling us. And
it's part of his allure.
Man,
that word earlier today. I wanted to use it.
Allure. You learned that word earlier?
No, I heard.
Oh, I thought you said you learned that word.
No, I heard.
Yeah, where did I go wrong as a friend? That would have been really bad. Like if you've never heard allure,
person, like what?
If you've never heard allure, that I'm just saying the people you're talking to not up there.
Yeah,
Cause I'm just saying.
Best believe my vocabulary is
Thank you. But yeah, guys, that was
You
Earl Sweatshirt Sick, the album. Like we do for each of our albums. We will give it a rating. 1 to 3 is trash. 4 to 6 is mid. That was what we called it last time. And 7 to 10 is a vibe. What would you guys give this album out of 10?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe because it makes me feel good. I'm definitely a very very sonic person. Coming from having a personal music background, so I'm like I like the production of it, like I keep saying. So yeah, it screams vibe. So why not make it a vibe?
Well said.
I'm gonna give it 8.5. Yeah.
My son. You know where I'm going too. Go ahead.
I think it's a vibe. I liked all of the songs. The production was great, like DeMonte said. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it 8.5. It's a vibe.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow through and also say 8.5, even though I thought of it first.
You didn't
I'm
say it first.
I'm definitely gonna give it a vibe rating, mainly because like the albums leading up to this were just they were kind of pieces they were like pages and chapters in the story. This was like the back binder to the book. This was like, and the extra expansion final chapter type thing. Not final, but it feels together now. It feels like it's all pieced together and I kind of get where he's coming from, as an artist. And dealing with the loss, dealing with the addiction, dealing with the mental health, and being sick altogether, just kind of, it was a beautiful kind of entendre of ideas in this album. So I'm giving it 8.5. It's a vibe because it was fire. I listened to this again. I'm going to listen to it again. And Tabula Rasa, which is it's nuts. There's 3 high class rappers, like TRU. What I'm saying, rapping at super high level. And, I always love it. But yeah, our next album we're going to review next week is going to be Chez Noir, Food for Thought.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments which album you want us to do next. And from ours to yours in Vibe Studios, I go by the name of Mike on the mic.
It's your girl, Sacoya.
And that guy, Monte.
And we out of here.
Peace.
Peace.